Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's October 22nd, 2024. Hope you are having an amazing day. The week is off to a good start. A running start. All is well. By me on this 82-degree high of a day. Very beautiful weather today. Well, it's since passed. It's probably somewhere in the 70s at this point, but it was quite gorgeous for an October day. And still pretty mild as I have the window open now. I even had to turn the air conditioner on a little bit last night because it was just a tad bit warm. But I think we'll be good tonight. Anyway, enough about the weather. Let's see what we got here. Oh, and I'm seeing this underneath the Five of Swords. Oh, somebody plotting on a big opportunity, a big payday, a windfall for someone, a glow up, a come up. Let's see, what's on the bottom here? Wow. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put this in the middle. Yeah, and that's funny because I was thinking, like, are they plotting on it for themselves, even though I didn't feel that initially, or are they plotting on someone else's, which is what I said, but that confirms it. Now let's see what else is under here. Wow. So someone or someones are plotting on, or were plotting on, I don't know what tense we're talking about here, but plotting on some attack or seizure, you know, to apprehend someone's fortune. Or ultimately planning an attack on someone's stability and affluence here, because it seems like the more, you know, like somebody just keeps getting richer and richer and you know, becoming more and more content in their wealth. You know, like more and more prosperous is more the word. I mean, it definitely is an emphasis on some material gain, but with the Nine of Cups, it feels more like prosperity, and the Ace of Pentacles being endless. Like somebody is just extremely prosperous and productive, and like whatever investments they make, it's like the Midas touch type of energy. Yep. And of course, you know, as always, that attracts some haters, some jealousy, envy, some levels of entitlement or sabotage, heavy on the entitlement piece too. Like it should be mine, or I should have that, or, you know, if I can't have it, then I'm going to try to ruin it or attack it. This could even be in that regard, like somebody's business being attacked, or their business or professional reputation being attacked. Like, so, practically speaking, somebody leaving bad reviews that are completely false or trumped up, but just to be a blemish on someone else's prosperity and profitability at this point. Their good name, their established brand, or starting a story about a brand or someone's reputation, or their persona, or their what is it? It's something. What is it really? So it could even be someone making up stories about how someone, like even the legitimacy of someone's business practices, like whether or not it's legal or moral, or even, tarnishing the value of it, like it's not worth it or anything of that sort. It's like somebody could be really taking hella shots at someone. But with the Five of Swords, it's always, it's kind of in a covert way. Like I said, it could be starting a rumor or anonymously leaving comments or reviews under someone's profile, or on their like Yelp page or something like that, or even just talking to other people about their experience, of which they may or may not have even had, but doing their due diligence to share poor reviews with as many people as they possibly can. Again, this could be about someone's business. It could be about someone, especially when I'm talking about character. I feel something real strong on that, on the projection of some type of illegal activities going on or something like that. But ultimately, it's just jealousy, because like I said, whatever someone touches, like even starting the rumor, like it's no way somebody could be making all that money doing X, Y, and Z. It's got to be something else happening undercover or behind the scenes, or it's a front for something else. It's a hustle on the sidelines or in the background or whatever. Just because, but here that completely dispels that with the Ace of Pentacles, which is like a gift, a God-given gift or talent, and the Nine of Cups, which is spiritually driven and spiritual fulfillment. So it's just that somebody is just operating in the function of their pure passion, more or less, and is investing their time, their energy, their resources, their capital well, making positive and wise investments, and it's just multiplying their income. And because the more someone continues on that track, the more money they make, the more fulfilled they are because of how they're making their money. Like there's no consequence here. There's no conflict in what they're doing to gain wealth and prosperity. So that continues to raise their vibration in the space of spiritual fulfillment, which continues to make them even more attractive for bigger and better opportunities to make more money and to collaborate and, co-create and make new investments that are yet prosperous and adds more to their, it's just like a continuous cycle of wealth that somebody is finding themselves on, and it's all legal. It's all legal. It's all like divinely admissible and endorsed, like it's in alignment, so to, that type of thing. Like every box checks out, which is why someone or someone in particular is also just as attractive to hate, because that's obviously not something that will come naturally to someone in an energy such as that. If you're too worried about what somebody else has going on, then you can't possibly be minding your own business, literally and figuratively. So therefore, you wouldn't be able to see the type of expansion and growth and wealth and, magnification as someone else is that is just strictly minding their business. Nothing more, nothing less. So, I don't know, right, like, what do we even say about that, really and truly? But anyway, we're going to start over. Where was this? Oh, it was here. Because the highlight still is the Ace of Pentacles. But with all that background story, somebody's definitely in alignment to just become more and more wealthy. Like, they got the Midas touch and they can't miss. So what are you gonna do when the haters come sniffing around? Just protect your assets. That's all you really can do, right? Oh, I know I'm gonna have the same card on the bottom because of where we started, but I guess that's okay. Oh, no way. How did it pop out? Hold on. That's weird. Oh no, it's right. Because it'll be the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. And we're gonna do it like this. Oh no, it's the King of Pentacles? I'm confused now. How did King of Pentacles end up on the bottom? I don't know. But anyway, maybe they got a little shuffled around when I collected them. But anyway, here we go. This energy, we've already seen it. It's someone just, more or less living their best life. Successful businessman, business owner, again, with highly ethical and moral practices, fair practices, to say the absolute least. Somebody that prides themselves on being upright and fair in their business practices or in their professional dealings, or in just how they make money. Like, it could be someone that, that even is no stranger to a good hustle, but honorable hustling. Not somebody that is, just going to do anything for a dollar. Or if there's any opportunity that comes up, they're going to take it because it yields a dollar. Like, no, this is somebody that is selective about what they invest their time and energy into, and is intentional for there to be some spiritual alignment with their practical endeavors. Wow, temperance, great balance here. I'm trying to think of what is the word that I just heard, what I used, because that might end up being the title. It was pretty prominent when I said it, so I was like, I know it was pretty early in the beginning, so maybe I'll just have to. I usually title and caption it first, post it, but I usually don't watch it back until like tomorrow or whenever before my next video. So even the titles are more or less kind of like channeled, but most of the time it comes from whatever the inspiration and keywords are in the message. And I just said something and it clicked to me, but now I forgot what I said. And I just knew that I wouldn't because it was that important, but I'll find it. It probably will have some resonance. But anyway, the Temperance card here. The Midas touch is what kept coming up. I said that a few times already. That may end up being the title, but there's some significance even to it here with these, especially now that the Temperance is here. Hell yeah, alchemy. Duh. That's why it was important for me to remember it in this second. This is not just a master manifester. This is an alchemist. And it seems like he may even be modest about his powers, or his qualities or capabilities. This is somebody, because they just seem to just, from the outside looking in, it almost looks like this person is either just super lucky, which this is, Sagittarius energy, so we can draw from that. Either super lucky, or it's like they either got to be super lucky or corrupt. That's the impression from the outside looking in. And no, not for nothing, the King of Pentacles is kind of nicknamed the Kingpin, which what implication that has. But in this case, this is somebody so supremely upright, as I've already stated, but it's due to their spiritual and carnal balance. Again, the King of Pentacles is hella practical, extremely, but the Nine of Cups is very spiritually focused. Like they almost must be, they prioritize their spiritual wellness even perhaps above, as this aligned here, their material wellness. And that's what makes all the difference. And that's the secret sauce really for somebody's alchemical qualities. It's not really so much that it's a magic trick or even necessarily divine favor, or it is because of the nature that they cultivate within themselves, but it's not like somebody just has the favor of the gods on their hands just because of who they are, or just they just got the luck of the draw. It's because of someone's intentions and motivations that they are an open channel for supreme energies to conduct through. Like I've said this many times before, when you're an open vessel, you're intentional about making a difference with your gifts, your talents, your resources, whatever it is you have on hand, whomever you are. Naturally, it is like a beacon of light for celestial forces, angelic forces, divine energies, whatever it is you want to call them, even ancestors, way-showers, guides that are, more or less intangible forces, to almost attract to you to want to do, heavenly God's work. Ultimately, God's work can be done through your vessel, your hands, your visions, your mind, your even your practicality, your modesty. In this case, like I said, this is somebody that doesn't even, they probably revere themselves in too practical of a sense before they supersize their spiritual essence. Like this could be somebody that doesn't even really give themselves the credit that the divine may give to them about what they can accomplish when they put their mind to it and forge funnel their energy into it. But the results speak for themselves, and that's what is on display from the outside looking in, which again is very attractive and even provocative to either, great inspiration or hateration. But there's probably not a lot of room in the middle between the two. It's probably one or the other for somebody. But this is why, because of someone's earthly intentions to fulfill the spirit nature of their being. They attract the celestial force to enhance and advance their efforts. That's the alchemical process, you know, more or less, that is transferable to really anything, you know, from literally making spirit into matter, whether you are grounding your own energy and identity in this, you know, chaotic realm as it can be at times, whether you are tempering your own ambitions, desires, and, you know, fortifying them with some purpose or, you know, elevated intention. It's also a part of the process, tempering your emotions, your drive, even your, like your, not contempt, but your, what's the right way to say it? I'm completely lost for how to say it, but I'm seeing the strength card as I'm trying to get it out, whatever, however this is trying to come out. But you know, the difference between someone that is like exclusively carnally driven, you know, by materials, by even, you know, financial stability or wealth, positions of power, acknowledgments, accolades, rewards, recognition, like all of that stuff that is certainly is good, you know, for human sake. It's the difference here. We're talking about someone that's not completely weighted down by those carnal desires, even survival itself, you know. They are balanced in the frequency to know that just as sensational as those elements are, is sometimes even as fleeting or insecure as those things can be. And the thing that is most grounding is your spiritual wellness, even though that's the thing that you can less, you know, put your hands on. That's the less tangible energy of all of the two things to balance. It would say to me that someone in this frequency knows to pour more into that cup, at least initially, than anything else, is all that I'm trying to say. Hence 9 cups here that somebody has filled. So yeah, I was just saying that is the process, you know, someone that might appear to have the Midas touch, where everything they put their mind to, their energy into, their money into, everything they set out to create just somehow seems to be successful. It's not a magic trick. It's just divine devotion, you know, and determination, first and foremost. Here's the Fool card. What's the Fool card talking about? The Fool is about, I just heard getting off to a good start or off on the right foot. Let's see. Wow. Well, damn. That's a hell of a start, if I say so myself. I was not expecting that energy. Wow. this is like, I mean, I have used the word luck, you know, but it's really a matter of fortune more so, because luck is kind of like, you know, loosey goosey, but this is definitely somebody quite fortunate. It's quite fortunate. It's like no matter what, they always seem to find themselves in a position. What here it is. No matter what they start, it always leads into some. This is the cycle. What did I say? What did I call it? Like some endless cycle of wealth or prosperity. Like this, if this is not what somebody is already found themselves in the way of, it's someone's destiny and fortune and favor. But again, it's on account of where they started. Very modest, very humbly, just devoted to fulfilling themselves energetically, spiritually, aligning their intentions with divine order, you know, with the destiny that they could foresee for themselves. And sometimes that's not a clear picture, but in tune and tapped in enough to know what is out of alignment or what just like blatantly feels off. You know, that's we're talking about somebody that tries to avoid poor investments, particularly in this case of their time and energy. So you're not going to spend a whole lot of that doing things that don't serve you or don't yield a prosperous or productive return or outcome, even if you don't have a guarantee for its profitability. So even that is a part of the alchemical process. Again, that temperance energy of balance and patience and self-control and harmony and being high-minded and big picture oriented, not just looking at immediate gratification, but considering the long run, the long-term sustainability, even purpose-driven behind your investments and your intentions, like all of that. And also, this is Sagittarius energy again with the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter here, to make its presence abundantly known, no pun intended. But my God, so this is someone also that could be liberally explorative of their spiritual essence. And it doesn't have to be religious, of course, but this is somebody, again, an open vessel that is teachable, you know, that is adventurous, curious even, that wants to know more about themselves on a deeper and higher level, and is also interested in allowing their surroundings or the world at large to be its teacher or his or her teacher. That's also a vessel that can be conducted through, because when you're open to information that's beyond your limitations, you become, you know, a prime conduit of more sophisticated spiritual intel. And sometimes that's like the, you know, the insider information that you would need, especially as far as inspiration goes, to know how to multiply your advances in any way, shape, or form. So if you're looking to make more money, or if you're looking to expand your creativity, if you're looking to inspire others, if you're just looking to expand your knowledge and understanding of the universe, like this is just somebody that is always seeking to learn, like excited. With the Full card, that's an excitement, uninhibited enthusiasm for more in a great range of things, because, you know, it's literally somebody that's open to however the universe would like to expand them to be of service in one way, shape, or form, which is all it really comes back around to, you know, just as cyclically as the Wheel of Fortune spins, is how you can then reinvest the energy that's been invested in you from a celestial level to make a difference in the physical world or in the physical realm. And this is somebody that's what they love to do. Look at this, and here's the power. Oh my gosh, this is so amazing. This is the divine inspiration right here. Exactly what I'm saying. Someone seeking enlightenment and finding it, and it materializing in the form of creativity, confidence, boldness, ingenuity, inspiration. Again, like all of those things that ultimately becomes matter of a spirit nature. It becomes matter when this is pure passion that's being filtered through the human vessel. This energy ultimately gets put to work in some way, shape, or form. It materializes, whether it fuels existing projects and advances them or expands them, or it creates something altogether new. But that's why someone appears to, you know, just be King Midas over here and always somehow got their pulse on the right beat in terms of prosperity. Is because they're always open for fresh inspiration and of the most supreme nature. So if that, for the Five of Swords energy that's just looking to clinch the win, that's the secret right there. Just take that and transmute it in your own frequency. That's all it is. That's all it is. And you can do it too. You ain't got to fight for no spot. You ain't got to try to tear nobody else down or take what nobody else has built or created, destroy what someone's reputation or their honor, their credibility, you know, like you can build on your own. You can build on your own. If only it was so simple of a concept to grasp. But some people just refuse to yield to that truth, you know? And everybody, you know, uniquely has their own wheel of fortune. No two wheel of fortunes look alike, even though we're all connected collectively. But how this man gains his fortune and favor has nothing to do with anybody else. Not when it just comes to himself alone. How it's reinvested and asserted certainly has an impression and makes an impact, but you got to get to it first. It's not an illusion or abracadabra type of situation. Oh my goodness. And now we got the Queen of Pentacles. So nobody's left out here, masculine or feminine. Just so we're clear. This is, you know, not only the active assertiveness of your energy, but also the passive and receptive posture of wealth and abundance and prosperity. Knowing then how to receive, again, receiving that intel, that fortune, those gifts, the inspiration, the guidance, the curiosity, being a receptive. This is the conduit energy, this is the conductor, this is the conduit, but however you resonate with it, embodied all in one, you know, for sure, especially by indicated by the Temperance card. How you take it all in and then reinvest it, multiply it, even magnify it. This is the ticket here. Regenerate it. This is like regeneration of wealth from humble beginnings to I mean, wow. Now with the Chariot here, to endless possibilities. Dang, what are we? I mean, it feels so fantastical. To be honest, like I want to try to pull it down to earth a little more, especially given it's the King and Queen of Pentacles. But it's just really, you know, having luck on your side. And then this, and even, you know, beyond that, again, having the divine on your side, because you have rendered yourself valuable, precious, I would say, not even just valuable, precious. Yeah, this is like, precious cargo. Yeah, that's what this is like with the Chariot card here. And the Chariot is very protective as well. You know, it could even be like police or security energy. So that aligns with, you know, going back to that Five of Swords, it's like no matter what the impending threat or intention of threat, this frequency has built in top flight security because of how precious it is to the universe. Because obviously, as I said, everyone is not so susceptible to the truth that they can do it too, whatever it is, for themselves. So those that have connected to that truth, have assumed it for themselves and now asserted it, there is like, I mean, this is a type of security detail that you really wouldn't want to try. You know, it's like trying to touch Beyonce or Jay-Z in transit. You know, like you bound to get an elbow to the face or something. You know, or Rihanna or somebody, you know, high profile. Which I guess is kind of like the word of, I hate to say caution, but, you know, as they say, to whom much is given, much is required. And so there could be here, the point may be not only to raise your frequency of security for yourself from the inside out, your carefulness about your surroundings, who you keep company with, what you do, what you don't do, how you invest, and, you know, always maintaining that highest vibration of integrity at all times now. Like there's really not a lot of room for slip ups, you know, for there to be like a breach in security for your own sake. But there's also this, what I'm feeling is like just something that may be a new normal for some to start to wrap their heads around, or to, you know, to accept and get accustomed to, when I'm talking about like high profile people or celebrities, and they're just always being like, no matter what, even with, you know, Julius at right in front of her, there's still always going to be someone wanting to get a picture, or maybe try to steal a moment with Beyonce, or, you know, to come as close as possible without violating. So it's like there is always a need for there to be, you know, some heightened alert for your, you know, your proximity and in your force field. And that coming from humble beginnings or modest beginnings might not be something, even with the full energy here, like I said, like somebody's not really too keen on just how high profile and, you know, precious, quite honestly, and powerful that they are just yet. But with all of this aligning the way that it is, it could be, you know, necessary for some to start to really settle with the idea of, you know, being much more exposed or visible, and maybe having to make themselves less accessible in certain ways, but also due to the nature of their work and their mission, you may just not be able to help, you know, being more exposed in certain ways, that now you just have to elevate your security for it and be okay with it. Like, not feel a disdain or even a resistance or reluctant to secure your space or and your spirit and your person more aggressively than you typically, well, first of all, than you are familiar to do so or accustomed to doing so. But also, you know, sometimes when you're transitioning from one space and time to another, where, like I said, somebody's maybe used to a more humble and modest life to now being high profile, it can almost feel a little haughty-taughty, like you may almost be resistant to certain things that almost feel like you're doing too much, or, you know, you don't want to lean in to the status quo of what someone so-called high profile or celebrity or just, you know, recognizable might need for themselves or require for their safety, because it feels like out of touch, you know, or it feels like, you know, you're exalting yourself above what you should. But I don't know why I'm feeling like I need to say that to someone, because, you know, it's important that you protect yourself as precious as a divine reveres you to be, so that you can keep doing the good work. It's not about exalting yourself to feel better than anyone or to make anyone feel less than. It's about preserving your energy so that you can keep making an impact. Because, you know, some of the best of them that didn't want to leave their hometowns because they wanted to stay in touch, you know, keep their boots on the ground, stay connected to the community in any way, shape, and form, have been, you know, taken out, unfortunately, or have been on the end of some unfortunate circumstances that may have been avoided if they had the right security measures in place, or if they had secured themselves in a space that was, you know, less of a threat and a danger. So you can't be afraid, like, as you are elevating, you know, and as you are growing and advancing, there may be some things that are shifting that you may be uncomfortable with, but find your security and your dedication to your life's work and mission above everything. And as long as your spirit is intact and that's in alignment, you ain't got to worry about what else comes along with the territory. It just is what it is. Yeah, 3 of Cups. It's a point of celebration even. Like, don't feel bad if you can't do the things that you used to do, or hang out where you used to hang out, or go where you used to go, you know, go anywhere without security, or live in a space that doesn't have supreme security, or, you know, things like that, that establishing certain boundaries for yourself personally, even, that are more stringent than what you're accustomed to. Like, celebrate that moment of that realization of elevation, because it's the divine promoting you to do bigger and better things above all else. So, yeah, so there's some celebration underway. All right, let's get a few more on the board. Maybe celebrating some new release or launch, you know, of yet another new project or a big project that, for whatever it's worth, is about to have a major impact with this Wheel of Fortune. And look at this, the Justice card. Yeah, that connects to the cause and effect that I was just speaking of. Like, just knowing that, you know, big moves require big measures. Yeah, like, look at this. And you may be used to being independent, coming and going as you please, doing, you know, not really too considerate of where you go and where you know, not so much. Maybe because you weren't all that recognizable before, or you didn't have much of a following, or you didn't, I don't know, your profile was a little lower. But look how it's lined up with the Nine of Cups, and this is like the feminine counterpart with the Nine of Pentacles, but this is what has materialized this cause and effect. Remember, as I said, prioritizing your spiritual satisfaction, which is why someone is still quite humble and modest about their magnificence because they're not doing it for the glory, not for their own anyway. They're not doing it for fame or fortune. They're just simply answering to the desires of their nature, you know, like they're in a very tempered way. You like something, you pursue it. You're interested to learn something, you research. You're curious about something, you go experience it. You discover. You are open to connecting with new people or like-minded people. You know, just someone always in an open posture to receive the goodness, the great fortune of life is ultimately going to. You know, that's definitely the theme here, you know, staying open to the greatest possibilities in life, not limiting yourself, especially any more than this realm and the facilitators thereof would like to do for you, and will do if you allow them to, or allow it to, that energy and principality itself. So you have the favor of the divine because you've probably broken through a lot of those barriers and limitations in your own right, and have earned the respect and the honor of intangible forces whom are pleased to assist and support your efforts. And so that's what they do. And that's why you are as successful as you are now. And that's why you have a great outlook of success in the future and on the horizon. And like I said, if you're already in a good energy now, considering that success at this rate really could just be resilience amongst a great deal of resistance, just for being who you are. You know, if you've just made it to the point where you still have your mind intact, your focus is still pure, you know, you are the captor of your soul and your vessel. You're not dealing with possessions of any particular external forces, addictions, and you know, that are out of control, and things like that, habits that are out of control. You still feel purposefully driven, and also feel like you are enjoying your human existence. You know, like all of that without a dime is precious and valuable. So to now perhaps have an added value of the materialization of that simple spiritualization is new territory, and that alone in itself might be something to really get used to. You kind of already have been used to just being grateful for everything that you have, whether it seemed like a lot or not. And now to actually have a lot, to have a great deal to show for in such a way that you are attractive, you provoke envy and intrigue and inspiration. That's new to you. That may be new to others that knew you in a certain form or in a certain format, in a certain frequency, or in another place and time. It may be new to you how people respond to you in this frequency, because you're still considering that you're still that, sweet little simple old gal or guy, that nobody, you could easily make yourself invisible if you, if you desire to now kind of being a beam and light. That's something different to get used to. Yeah, the King of Swords, like a new identity. A new identity that still very much is true to you as it's ever been. But now, I think I said something about a glow up, didn't I? In the beginning, when I saw that Ace of Pentacles, I said something about a glow up, or I forget. It was something about advancement that I saw, that I said. But you're still you, true to the bone, but definitely with some embellishments now. That for you, at a soul level, you may appreciate, but it doesn't make or break you who you are internally. But when you have others that are watching and observing, and depending on what level of spectacle you may be advancing to, because I feel like I'm talking to someone that's about to be like thrust into a public setting or the public eye or on a platform in a way that they just, I would say, with the Chariot, weren't expecting to accelerate into, maybe in a certain space and time, at such a accelerated time, or they never expected in such a magnitude with the Wheel of Fortune, which expands all of our expectations if you let it. Like you over here in the full energy, like do 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 do, and then here, with your modest little visions and intentions, just to, do good business and create good products and be a good person and give back to your community and, share the wealth of your experiences and your resources, however you can do so responsibly. And then that gets advanced to some global movement or initiative or marketing or company or establishment, enterprise of sorts. And it's like, whoa, who asked for all this? But with the Justice card, it's all fair because you've stayed true to yourself from beginning and through the advancement, as you start to gain those, reap those rewards and benefits. To stay true to yourself and who you were at the core is what's key to keep that wheel of wealth turning in your favor. That is as simple as that. Yeah, the heightened security and awareness and all of that is definitely necessary, but as long as you are still true in spirit to the core and honorable and honest in your intentions, it's only going to continue to get more grand from this point. And given we saw the Temperance and now the Justice is down here, that's like, what did I say about, and when I was talking about how much of a spectacle you become, I saw the Page of Swords. So there's that energy. Yeah, and attractive. Like this is major attraction here with the Queen of Wands. That you can't help it. You can't help. Oh, what I was saying is with the Justice card, that's the manifestation in the physical form of justice. So not only is it fair and karmically balanced in the spirit. This is just it materializing in its physical form. So if it seems overhyped, accelerated, super abundant, like wildly profitable or fortunate, like almost feels like all this for me type of energy, then you're exactly where you're meant to be. Yes, all this for you because you've been all this to the divine and you are committed to being all of this to the divine. Because best believe the moment that you decide that you're not and you want to start veering off into some diabolical path, just as quickly it'll all dissipate. Or what you have will deplete in such a way that you won't even be able to enjoy it anymore. You won't enjoy what you're doing, who you're surrounded by, what you are gaining or what you're creating. Like everything will just lose its savor for you the moment that you're out of alignment. But as long as you are, it's sweet. It's just going to be sweet. And that's what you should have the steady expectation for, like to always be in this attractive, receptive posture for something great to occur or to receive something great or to produce even, because this is a proactive queen as well, something great because of the alignment, the covenant. That's what this Justice card is. It's the covenant with the divine in the natural that you have forged, like almost pledged yourself to be precious in spirit and in truth. And so you are. Yeah, look, 5 of Pentacles, this is like a distant memory as far as I'm concerned. But it speaks to what I was saying, like just like that, it could all be gone. 5 of Pentacles to bad health and struggle and back to survival mode, or scarcity and fear and poverty and all those things that you have more or less worked your way out of just in spirit alone. You have banished a lot of those frequencies. So it seems like where I said you may have been in this physical experience before, but somehow were able to cultivate a spirit of gratitude in the 9 of Cups to be fulfilled anyway, just with life and breath and, the hopefulness for a brighter day and new opportunities and so on and so forth. And this can be a distant memory, a thing of the past, never to be recreated again or re-experienced again if, as I said, you stand in alignment. But if not, it can just as quickly come back around. No one is exempt or immune once they step out of that covenant, out of that contract and agreement. That's crazy how that popped up like that. All right, let's see 2 more. But look, this is on to, like I said, that new normal of life where everything is peaceful and calm and blissful and easeful, where there's, the worries that you may have been accustomed to in a previous season just don't exist where you're going. It may almost even feel kind of weird that certain things don't exist, like not worrying about how to pay your bills or how you're going to create the visions that you're idolizing, because you may be in need of the startup capital or the investment or whatever the case may be, how you're going to have enough time to do all the things that you envision for yourself to do. in the spirit of the divine, you know, how you're going to have enough energy to invest in all your different projects and endeavors and ambitions. This is moving into a world where none of that is a worry anymore. There's always enough time, energy, resources, and support for whatever you're in alignment for, even if it's something that has to be dissected into parts and pieces, and maybe you can't do it all at once as you would like to, you know, but I still feel like there's still an essence, especially with the Wheel of Fortune in the mix, of like supernatural investment and the temperance as we saw it. There's like, that's the celestial force that steps in to create miracle moments where, you know, in your own flesh exclusively, it would be virtually impossible to accomplish certain things. But when you have divine support and endorsement in your favor, you can do anything. You know, you'll be sent support out of thin air, for real, like resources out of nowhere, collaborations that just make perfect sense and take your idea and, you know, magnify it times 100, or at least accelerate the materialization of it beyond what you could do yourself. So things just fall into, that's that Midas touch effect again. When you are in divine alignment, that's the magic, that's the moment, nothing else. There's really no other mystery to it, honestly. There are no real mysterious cards. Even the Justice implies something just being very clear, black and white, cause and effect, right and wrong, you know what I mean, reap and sow type of energy. It's like there's no mystique to it. And here's the strength, just as I said, plenty of time, plenty of energy, plenty of passion, plenty of courage, of confidence, of support. Here's the balance, as I was seeing earlier, between your spirit and your carnal being on one accord and alignment. So when you need to pull from your spirit, man, you have that resource available unlimitedly. And it's grounded in your physical being. So it's like you're not too holy to make an impact in the physical world, but you're also not so carnal that you barely make an impression at all, because you kind of look just like everything else, or you look like what everyone else is doing, you know, or less than. God forbid, you know, it's just like the perfect balance of which you still are, you know, carrying on in this fleshy body, but you're doing God things, you know, high profile, spiritually, you know, spiritually advanced creativity here. That does on site look like WTF to those that, you know, haven't quite connected to the secret within themselves. But the moment that secret is revealed, you know, like it's made abundantly clear to someone that this is all it is the moment that perhaps that ripple effect can start to change, you know, the evolution of creation overall, humanity within creation, so that we can all be so advanced. And nobody's looking over their shoulder or looking at anyone with despise or disdain or jealousy or envy, because we all winning. And it's just a matter of how can I help you gain the max win for my max win, you know? That's my utopian outlook anyway. Yeah, looking at minding your own business. the business that pays you in spirit and in truth. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is, where you are here in the Nine of Cups, fulfilled to just use your hands, figuratively speaking, but your vessel to create, like to embody the power to do so, being the only species really that has that power to do so at will. Is such a precious gift. And it's when you put it to work and to use in the most productive sense, again, that you put in yourself in position to build a legacy, if not a dynasty here, that is then shared throughout creation. Six of Pentacles, where what you're doing has an effect on everyone, those that are in a position to need the inspiration or whatever it is, the service, the product, the presence that you have, and ultimately can then be nurtured and groomed in their own right to then be in this position as well for the next that are in need or in open posture to receive, if nothing else. So this is how the cycle advances itself, just by you sticking to your plans. No matter what the so-called resistance or threat may be, because it's still trying to make its presence known, you know, for, I don't know, for whatever reason has, you know, seems to make sense to it, you know, that's plausible to continue to force the issue, whatever their issue truly is with themselves, because it really don't have nothing to do with you, which is why, again, the best response is to just mind the business that pays you in spirit and in truth, and to stay focused on what drives you to be who you are, to do what you do, and to be in expectation to receive the return for those intentions. Because that's key too. You know, not just working your fingers to the bone and pouring out until you're empty, but a key component of this message has been reception. And for some, you know, that are particularly modest and humble, that might be a bit of a, you know, a challenge to now, you know, be fully open to receive goodness as it is materializing in this precious way, because you've been used to regenerating it for yourself virtually off of nothing, you know. But now to actually be in line to be gifted with that Ace of Pentacles in the very beginning, to be showered and pampered and spoiled to some degree with the gifts of the divine, tangibly, in which you can actually touch, and to still have the sensation of your fulfillment even more so, because it's compounded on account of the materialization. You know, like it's time for you to have that. And I pray that you don't reject it in any form that it shows up, even in the call to action that it may incite, to elevate your security and elevate your awareness of your surroundings and things of that nature, just so that not only you can continue to receive, because you in a receptive position, in a receptive posture, puts you in a position to do this, which is share. I don't even know if you can see this down here, but the Six of Pentacles, that to share, and we need more of that. We have enough deficits, enough scarcity, enough poverty in this world to go around, unfortunately. What we don't have is enough good fortune and favor. And at least not amongst those that are willing to pay it forward. And that's who the divine wants to work through, to conduct this fortune through, so that that wealth can be spread as far and wide as, you know, it has the liberty to do so by your own will. So whatever is coming to you, whatever you're receiving, congratulations. Yes, it's yours. Yes, all of this for you. Yes, you deserve it all. And yes, you know exactly what to do with it. So get to it. All right, so thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I leave you with peace.